Hi, my name's Sarah, and this is a talk on why we need to slow down our rate of deforestation. But first of all, some good news. Between 2015 and 2020, we actually did slow down our rate of deforestation from 16 million hectares per year to 10 million hectares per year. So yay, good news. At the moment, our forests make up 1/3 of our land mass, but if we continue with our current rate of deforestation, we will run out of forests within 100 years. And we tend to think of forests, well, we get our wood and our paper products. But actually, forests provide us with a whole lot more than that. So, as I said, first of all, they do provide us with wood, and they do provide us with paper products. But they also provide us with oxygen to breathe, they provide us with medicine, they provide homes for indigenous people, plants and animals. One of their huge jobs is to help us with global warming. So trees actually store carbon dioxide, and it's the carbon dioxide is one of the main greenhouse gases that causes global warming. And they also help prevent damage from wind, drought, flooding, and help prevent soil erosion. So they have a huge list of jobs. And the rainforests, they cover about 13% of the land mass, but they are homes to approximately 50% of the world's animal and plant species. So very important. But the rainforests are being cut down at a more alarming rate. They used to be 16 million square kilometers, but now they're only 6 million square kilometers. Okay, so why are we losing our forests at such a rate? Well, one of the main culprits is global warming. Global warming causes changes in weather, so it actually means some of the forests are getting less water, so some of the trees are dying off that way. The other main contributing factor is farming, especially beef, soybean oil, and palm oil. Another smaller contributing factor is people using them for their own living. People living in poverty are using them, cutting down trees to make food, provide food for their own family. And I'll just check everything, got everything off my list. Obviously wood and paper products, and housing. A small amount is lost for housing too. So why is this a problem? Well, as I said in the beginning, at our current rate, we're going to be without forests within 100 years. So one of our main problems is, if we lose them, is global warming. And there is a big link between deforestation and global warming, because every time we cut down a tree, we get a double whammy. One, it's less trees to absorb the carbon, and two, every time you cut down a tree, it actually releases the carbon dioxide that it's got stored, so it contributes towards global warming. So it is a wee bit of a double whammy. Now we have the global warming, it produces severe weather patterns. So we are going to get more droughts, we are going to get more flooding, we're going to get more hurricanes, we're going to get more storms. I mean, Texas has just had a major snowstorm. And these are going to become commonplace. And obviously, we need a more temperate climate for growing our crops, our food for us to eat. So if we're going to have a lot more severe weather patterns, we're going to have a big food shortage. Global warming is also contributing towards the oceans being warmed up and the acidification of the water, and that means that that plus overfishing has meant that a lot of our fish stocks have been depleted, so it's causing a problem in that way. So we're going to run out of fish to eat too. Another big problem with deforestation is that it is estimated that about 30% of the diseases that we have in humans come from deforestation, and that is because the animals living in the forest have got nowhere to live anymore because we've taken away their habitat, so they are coming towards the human population and we are picking up diseases from them. Now, every species has an innate intelligence and wants to survive, so they're going to come inland and be towards us if they can get some food and some shelter that way. But what humankind tends to think, okay, well, we're at the top of the food chain, so we'll just make that animal species extinct, and our animal species and plant species are going extinct at an alarming rate, far more than they ever used to be. And one, this is unethical, and two, every animal, plant, bird, etc. has an actual part in our ecosystem. So if you take out a species, it has a knock-on effect on everything else. So just to give you an example, carrier pigeons, they went extinct, and what that meant was there was a certain breed of mice that carried a nasty disease called Lyme disease that people get. But because the carrier pigeons weren't there to eat the seeds and the grain, there was a proliferation of these mice. So there was more Lyme disease. If we take out certain animals that eat rodents, we're going to get overrun by rodents. Birds and bats, they pollinate our food crops, and they also eat insects that cause diseases in us, like mosquitoes and insects that destroy our crops. So we actually need these animal species, these birds and the bats, etc., to survive. So we can't just push our way through and cause extinction, because we're going to cause problems for ourselves. And also, what are we going to do when we run out of forest? There won't be any more land to take. So everybody needs to play a part. It affects everybody. It doesn't matter how rich or poor you are. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. Everybody's going to get these extreme weather patterns. And the people in the developed countries use far more fossil fuels that are contributing to global warming, and wood and paper products. So they're the ones that really need to do the most work, that need to change the most. So we do not have the luxury of living how we have lived. We all need to change. And some people might say, okay, I'm 50, so, it's not really going to affect me. Well, actually, you do reincarnate, and you're going to reincarnate on a planet that you have to fight for food. So it doesn't matter how old you are, you've got to play your bit. Okay, so some of the main ways you can help. We need to cut down on our fossil fuel usage. That is the usage of gas, coal, wood and oil in our cars and our electric. So find ways in your house to use less electric. Use appliances that use less electric. Don't use a tumble dryer. Have shorter showers. Don't have your house quite so warm in the winter, quite so cold in the summer, etc., etc. Regarding car usage, if you can't afford a hybrid car, then try and use your car less. Walk or use the bus or the train or car share. If you have to use your car, then make sure it's regularly serviced and the tyres are inflated to the right level. If you can, switch to an electric company that uses green electric. That's a green electric company that gets its power from green sources. That's hydro, geothermal, wave, wind and solar, and the price of that has come down considerably, so you might even end up saving yourself some money. Another huge way is to eat less meat. Now, please don't substitute, especially beef, but please don't substitute this for fish, because as I say, the fish stocks are becoming really depleted and we're going to end up with big problems there at the rate we're going. So you don't need to eat meat every day. You can get your proteins from other ways, from dairy, from eggs, lentils and legumes, etc., etc. Certain grains such as quinoa are high in protein. So please cut down your meat consumption. Another way is to have smaller families. Now, we don't have the luxury of having big families anymore. Big families tend to have big families, and every person on the planet uses a lot of the Earth's resources. So you know, if you love having big families, then you need to perhaps get some employment looking after other people's children. We don't have the luxury of having big families anymore. Okay, and let me check my list here. Okay, so another way is to help people living in poverty, people that are using, you know, donate some money to people that are having to live by cutting down the trees. Regarding palm oil, now palm oil is in nearly everything, in nearly every food product. It's in things like shampoos and lipsticks, so it's really hard to avoid palm oil. But there is sustainable palm oil, and it has a label on it, RSPO. So if you can look for products with RSPO on, if they're palm oil, and that means it's from a sustainable source. Soybean oil is also used in a lot of foods. It's used in things like latex and resin as well. Now, as far as I could find, there is no certification for sustainable soybean oil. A lot of it is sustainably farmed. It's farmed in previously farmed agricultural land in the USA. So the only thing I can suggest is maybe using, maybe just try and avoid using it when you can. We need to consume less in the way of what we buy, not just food, but in gadgetry, that sort of thing, because everything we buy like that uses the Earth's resources to make it. It uses electric to make it. It uses fossil fuels for shipping it to various places, and packaging. So, you know, you don't need to have the latest phone. Just if people comment on it, your 3-year-old phone, just say you're helping to save the planet. Try and buy recycled paper, recycled toilet roll, recycled kitchen roll. If you need to buy something made of wood, look for, it'll have a certification on it saying it's from a sustainable farmed wood, from a sustainable farm forest. And even your toilet roll or kitchen roll, whatever, that can also have a label saying forest friendly. So look for those labels as well. Try and go paperless, so you can buy your newspaper, rather than buy a newspaper, read your newspaper online, read your books online, etc. Try and grow your own food. Obviously this is going to cut down on shipping costs to the environment, and it's much healthier too. I was speaking to my sister-in-law this morning. She lives in Bulgaria, and she's just started a food cooperative. So if you grow a kilo of one fruit or veg, you can take it to a place and swap it for another kilo of a different fruit and veg. So what a great idea. So, you know, maybe you can set up your own food cooperative. And I will be doing another talk on growing your own food. And lastly, you know, try and petition your government. If enough people petition their government, then laws get changed. So again, after speaking to my sister-in-law in Bulgaria is a poor country, but their forests are policed. And if you cut down a tree in Bulgaria, you have to plant 5 more. So what a great example for all those other countries to use. Okay, so I hope you find some of that useful. Please do something, even if it's just a little something. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, I forgot to mention this one. A lot of spam mail gets sent, and people don't tend to read it. You know, half a spam mug just gets chucked in the bin. So certainly in New Zealand, where I come from, you can get a little sticker and stick it on your mailbox that says no junk mail, no spam mail. So have a look and see if you can get a sticker to stick on your mailbox saying no junk mail. If not, go to your post office, whatever, post shop and see if you can get taken off the list. Okay, many blessings and best wishes for the future. Bye.